Hey, how you doing? This is Quad 7 Trigger, or Trigger as my YouTube page suggests. This is another episode of Front Mission 3. This is my episode number 2. I'm calling it MIDAS Evidence. This is where you actually find evidence of the MIDAS bomb being used, and it's a bit of a spoiler, but there was a explosion that went off, and that's pretty much what happened, when you get to see it. And this is the kind of an ambush on us, per se, because we get into here, we see what's going on, but Emma Klomsky seems to know, what could happen from us finding out this evidence. So the Japanese Defense Force king us right now, and so they're attacking, and we are trying to survive because we have witnessed what the destructive power was of the bomb that they set off. So in any case, last time I said I couldn't remember the main character's name. I apologize. His name is Kazuki Takamura, and he is the main character of the game, although you can name the main character anything you want, even your last name. So as you play the game, it's going to actually have your name in there, your first and last name in there, for all these little sequences and parts that happen throughout the game. So you can feel like you're the main character in the game, which is pretty cool. I kind of like how they did that in some of the older games. They don't seem to let you do that in the newer games now. Most people just like to use the main character's name for it. Here, what I'm going to try to do in these battles is try to get platinum every single time. Now, I can't guarantee I will. One time I went getting almost all platinums. I think I had like 3 silvers, like 8 bronze, like 10 gold or something like that. It was a certain amount, but it was weird. I had more bronze than I had silver, and I had, a small amount of gold and a lot of platinums. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to go for all platinums. There's probably going to be a few battles where I might not get the platinum, I might just get a bronze, but it could be due to me trying to capture a enemy wanzer. And I know a lot of you are probably watching this and are thinking, Titanfall is out, or, whatever game is out right now. This is 2013. Why play this old game? This old game is such a classic. I like it a lot. This is something that I like to do, and I know a lot of you want to keep moving on to the next game. For me, it's a little wearing. I need to, play some of the old games still because I really like them. And I don't, see there's anything wrong with that. So I like this old game. I'm going to do a whole playthrough it because, it's something that I like to see personally, and I like to do. I like to play some of these old games because they're still a lot of fun. In here, you get action points. So every action you take takes a certain amount of AP points that you can do. And you get these battle skills too, like zoom, and sometimes they can repeat, and that will actually overdo your action points. Actually letting you go more than you should. But on average, like if you were to put the whole battle together without all the action points and the commands, it would look like a really normal fluid battle, because you'd only be able to do so many commands in a certain amount of time. And here what's pretty nice is you get that, you get your little victory poses when you defeat an enemy, and that's pretty cool too. Another thing, too, about this game is I really think this is one of the best games ever made. I know that they have a lot of Front Mission series games. I really think this was probably the best of them all, and I haven't played the second or the first one. I'm sure that they're probably good, but as far as my opinion goes, I really think this is one of the best ones. You get this internet ability where you can go in there and hack through different sites to get different equipment and passwords to things and simulations and all sorts of stuff. You get to play the actual battle in this 3D mode. You get to customize the wanzer parts, to your liking. Front Mission 4 might have a little bit more customization that you can do, but they it switches you between 2 completely different teams, whereas this one you can pick 2 different stories. So in this story, I'm only playing one story mode right now, which is Emma's story mode, I believe, because she's on my team. So I'm gonna play through that one. There's a lot of battles that are get into it. Plus, like in this game, you can get ejected out of your wanzer, and you can do the same to the enemy too. There's some bad luck times where you get ejected out of your wanzer in this game, and the next turn someone shoots a missile at your pilot and he dies right away. And then from the very beginning of the battle, you only have 3 other characters to fight with in an empty wanzer just sitting there. So some battles can be really tough, and you can't really just Squaresoft seems to have this thing that they want you to at least lose once in a while when you're playing a game, because sometimes they'll just do things like they put this in there where you're kind of screwed over a bit and you just can't do anything to help yourself. But this was the old Squaresoft, I believe, when they were still Squaresoft at the time. But they do take some elements from Final Fantasy, like Odin for the shotgun, and I can't remember some of the other ones, but that could just be it. It's a really good game. You're going to see a lot of elements that a lot of these newer games like Titanfall is going to take from them and turn it into a more of an action type theme. And so you're going to see elements like that. This was pretty nice for the fact that I like to play some of these games where I have some time, to do other things. Like if I had to pause the game, I kind of want to pause the game. There's times where I just have some free time if I'm playing a game and I want to pause it, or I just want to let go of the controller to do something else. I have the option to. This is one of those games that you can do that with. Let's say you have a child or a kid and you have to do something for them. This is one of those games you could just literally just put the controller down, set it down, and go away, do something for a while, come back, and you're right back where you left it. So that's kind of nice for this. Another thing I want to tell you too was that I'm going to try to talk mostly about Front Mission 3 for this playthrough. I'm going to try to talk about some of the wanzers that I particularly like, some of the combinations, and some of the setups. And I know you can probably look this up online, but this is one of those things that, I'm gonna, I've already gone through this game multiple times. I can't remember how many times I've gone through it. It's been, I don't know, I probably played through it 10, maybe 11 times, both stories. It's been a lot. I've played this game a ton. This is one of those games that I've played a lot of in the past, and it's one of my absolute favorites. But I'll try to give you some of my combinations as to what I think works the best and what I think has like the best hit ratio to it, as far as like weapons go, as far as parts go, some of the best parts to equip, the lowest weight to the highest accuracy, or the highest hit points, as far as weight goes, and all things like that. So I will get into that. I've got some pages here I've put a lot of notes onto, and I try to add up certain things to see what I like. There's been some times in the future of playing that I've equipped like double flamethrowers or something like that, and put double shot on the character, and you just get this amazing amount of damage coming out. Do stuff like that. But there's things too, like here, if you want to keep Dennis, later on you're gonna meet a character. In this one, you'll meet a character named Dennis. If you want to equip Dennis with skills that give him like zoom +1 or zoom +2, in some ways that's better than zoom +3, because if he already has decent accuracy, he can spam his zooms and get a lot of shots off with that rifle. Because for me, playing this game, the rifle seemed to be one of the weakest things to use, because it had a higher miss ratio than almost anything else. And if you're trying to play a game where you're trying to get a certain amount of damage done in a certain amount of time, that can really mess you up when you take a single shot rifle, sniper rifle guy, and go to shoot, and he misses, and that one guy was completely useless for a whole turn. You know, that kind of stuff I'm not too crazy about. But, you know, there's going to be things that I'm going to be talking about, suggesting things as far as, like, you know, wanzers and, you know, what you should upgrade to, what you should try to capture. You know, it's good to try to capture a Kazel if you can. I think I did capture a Kazel MK2 in here. I think I captured one of them here. But these guys are pretty good. They've got some skills you can use. The Zanelev body, or I'm probably saying it wrong again, but the Zenislev. Yeah, I always used to say Zanelev, but in Zenislev, that body is a really good one for, you know, pulling out certain types of skills like tackle. Tackle's a really good skill to have. But anyways, I'll talk more about this later in some of my other playthroughs that I'll be doing. I'll be trying to like give you some hints and information if you ever get this game or have the game and want to know, you know, a little more about the game and see how you can play it a little better. So I'll try to do that for you, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.